Have to make a video of this, folks. Good evening. Oh, the Vanguard. Oh, this is crazy, folks. Once again, Cenk Uygur, TYT, the gift that keeps giving. They're showing an unhinged tweet from Cenk Uygur. It's about the protests, and he's criticizing the protests across America in a way. Watch.
Thing, for the obvious reasons. Yeah. I did want to also throw up this pathetic thread from Cenk Uygur. We didn't put it in the headline. But again, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, why are you so addicted to just punching down at organizers? He says, I love the people who went to protest against Trump.
It is. I love the people who went to protest against Trump and the administration because they're getting involved in democracy. They're fighting back on issues they care deeply about, and they're at least doing something. But I think organizers owe them a better explanation on what step 2 is. Oh, organizers, what do you mean? Maybe they did. How do you know? Maybe they did tell them step 2 is. See, you don't know that, do you? Maybe there is a step 2. Okay, let's keep going. What is this?
Trump administration. Because they're actively getting involved in democracy. They're fighting back on issues they care deeply about, and they're at least doing something. But I think organizers owe them a better explanation on what step 2 is. Okay, if you want to do something like...
Look at this. Okay, if you want to do... If you want to stop something like deporting critics, if it's of Israel or the cuts to Social Security office, I agree completely. But how are you going to get Trump to stop that? He doesn't mind the protests because they animate his own base to rally around him and dig in more. So he shouldn't protest. That's what he's saying. The left shouldn't protest. They're going to animate his base. Some of those people in the audience probably are MAGA. Even in the red states, even in the red states, they're protesting, not just the blue states. He doesn't realize that. And I think they're not all Democrats. They're probably independents. My suggestion is to talk to your fellow citizens instead of yelling at Trump voters. And no one's yelling at Trump voters. Engage in a conversation to see what motivates them. They probably are talking to Trump voters. See if you have common ground on, like free speech and protection. They probably do. It's crazy. And most people do have common ground. And they probably are talking to Trump voters, or MAGA, not MAGA, independents. They're not talking to pure MAGA, because some of them they're just cult. They're in a cult. A lot of them actually do care about these things, yeah. They probably are talking to them. And people are, how do you say they're not? They're just yelling at Trump voters. They're not doing that. You don't want them, this guy is he's a friggin' grifter, folks. It's happening for the MAGA crowd. That's what it looks like. Like he's being a side of Trump as a so-called progressive, so-called leftist.
Critics of Israel or cuts to the Social Security office or stop something like. I completely agree, but how are you going to get Trump to stop that? He doesn't mind the protests because they animate his own base to rally around him and dig in more. My suggestion is talk to your fellow citizens instead of yelling at Trump voters. Engage in conversation and see what motivates them. Nobody's doing that.
Fuck up, bro.
They're fucking protesters. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, my approach is not as emotionally satisfying.
My approach is not mostly satisfying. Yelling at someone on the other side is a great emotional release. Talking to them probably is the opposite. It's frustrating. These huge disagreements, it seems to consider, but it's much more like to get. They're not talking to protesters. They're the other side. They're not yelling at people. They're not yelling at. They're doing their frustration out. They're protesting Trump. They're not yelling at other people. Oh my God. This guy is such a fraud. He's a Trumpist. This guy is definitely TOT now definitely is a Trump sympathizer. Forget about it, folks. They're attacking the left. They're attacking the working class people, all you do. That's what these are, working class people protesting. And I thought you were for the working class, Cenk.
Yelling at someone on the other side is great emotional release. Talking to them politely is the opposite. Bro, you scream at lefties all day long. You slander, smear, raise your voice, castigate them, but all you have is love and softness for the Trump voters, the people who got us into this fucking mess. Are you kidding me? You're gonna try and poo-poo people who in historic numbers, they're getting out to protest against the fucking complete defunding and, you know, hollowing out of Social Security, the Department of Education. What do you expect people to do? Of course they're going to go protest. I can't fucking fathom why you would be a progressive commentator and be like, oh yeah, I don't want people out there
fence
protesting Trump because that's going to hurt Trump supporters' fees. Are you fucking kidding
this guy?
me?
This guy says your approach is fence riding. You obviously are intellectually dishonest. Glaring. Ha. Exactly.
Yeah, this is crazy, and it's literally what Cenk made his entire career doing, yelling at people on the other side. Like, that's what made him popular in the first place. That was his whole fucking shtick. He never talked to people politely, and he continues to go out here and say, oh yeah, I hate NPR because, you know, they sound too polite on there, and I'm a populist, I like to yell, I like to scream. But now these powerless protesters can't do that same thing that I've been advocating that people on my side do. Yeah,
exactly.
It's crazy. Cenk literally made his entire career doing exactly what he is condemning right here. And that was the best thing about Cenk. That was the old school based Cenk that I miss so much. You know, Zach, like in our comments the other day in our PBD Sam Cedar video, someone made a comment that actually kind of depressed me because I, in that video, said like the left wing we need our own Vinny. You know, we need our own Vinny. And someone said, we had our own Vinny. His name was Cenk Uygur. And that almost made me fucking cry, bro, because I was like, dude, we did. That was who Cenk was, and we lost that because now he wants to be a mealy-mouthed fucking both-sideser who panders to Trump and kisses the ass of MAGA constantly, and it's embodied perfectly in this tweet. Because, yeah, he used to actually get mad, and he used to actually get pissed at these fucking villains in society and these fucking asshole Republicans who have doomed our country. Apparently now he just wants to police the people who actually stand for the justice and truth.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that, again, guys, Cenk Uygur is just a perfect caricature for us to talk about is like how you should not ever handle this political moment, because what he wants to do is he wants to sit around and drink beers with people who he thinks are well connected to finance, and he has to work back from that as a way of developing it into a strategy, right? So he's working backwards. He's like, how do I not burn my bridges with these bougie ass friends I've made, right? Basically being the left wing guy that's going to come out and jerk them off and talk about how the right wing is actually reasonable and it's the left wing that's crazy, and I'm going to spend all my time attacking activists and laundering the reputation of Republicans. I have no smoke for PBD, but I do have smoke for fucking Francesca Fiorentini. It's absolutely shameful, but I do not understand how you could possibly come out here in a time like this when we're watching the Constitution be shredded, when we're watching the fucking Department of Education get hollowed out, shut down, when we're watching people be threatened to have their Social Security ripped away, when people are getting fucking black bagged and deported in our own fucking country. Cenk, you want to sit down and talk nicely? That's what you think is going to fucking help with a bunch of powerless people? No, how about a show of force? How about if you don't want to get absolutely curb stomped in the midterms, if you don't want it to be a bloodbath like you've never seen before, you better change your course quickly, right? Because when you look at the flood of people in all 50 states, even in middle America, Kansas City, even in fucking red state, Utah, in Mormon country, you have people coming out saying, hands off my shit.
Exactly. They're not all liberals. They're probably MAGA people are out there protesting. So you don't know what he's talking about.
You have thousands upon thousands of people in a sustained effort returning to Washington, D.C. to be like, stop the fucking genocide, we demand it. Yeah, it gets people's attention, it makes people feel more comfortable speaking out, and it makes people feel like they have a duty to speak out. Like, oh shit, those people are exercising their rights, I better do this because I agree with them. I better get outside and I better join forces with them because I agree with them. It gives people courage. It makes people feel good, and it energizes them, guys, for a sustained revolt. Cenk is a coward, and he's selfish. So what does he do? He immediately turns around and licks boots for a paycheck. Okay?
Exactly.
Never forget, this guy is paid for by Peter Thiel,
Yep.
by Palantir,
Exactly. By the elites.
okay, by the people who are destroying our country and owning Donald Trump's presidency. Why do you think he doesn't want you out there protesting, guys? The more I think about it, the more I feel like Cenk Uygur is actually paid opposition. I genuinely believe that there is a argument that you can trace from.
That's what I said before, folks. Is it paid up?
Him taking that Polymarket studio money to him becoming an active obstacle for any progressive change in this country, and we're not going to stop coming after his stupid ass until he's off the internet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Crazy. It's also like not even. It's not even like the protesters were that rude or disruptive or anything. Like no one was like burning down, businesses or like flipping over police cars or like it was a pretty chill protest. Like how the fuck do you want people to protest, bro? Like not that I would be pearl clutching over the destruction of property even if it had occurred. But it's not what was going on, bro. It was like a bunch of moms and like grandmas being like, enough is enough.
Yeah, please don't take my grandmother's social security. She'll be destitute without it. Yeah, that's what the people were saying. And again, to Gavin's point, we would be totally chill. We would not be pearl clutching if somebody had set fire to some Teslas, if somebody had done some property protests. Yeah, I'm not saying I advocate for that. The Vanguard on YouTube does not advocate for violence.
Nope.
But we do sometimes not advocate for destruction of property. And the reality is that nobody destroyed property during any of these fucking...
No.
There's not even Fox News fake stories about it, right? And there's not even... Like, they didn't even send out agent provocateurs
To paint red shit on the Liberty Monument or whatever.
Yeah.
They painted Free Gaza on Abraham Lincoln's face at the Lincoln Memorial. Can you believe it? We found one person that painted a piece of poop on the, whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, no, they didn't even do that this time.
You tell me why that says blacks rule, Oh, yeah, okay. Death to whiteys. That's crazy. I can't believe the movement is advocating for that. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But anyway,
Because that's what Cenk did too with the Palestine protests. The most recent wave of he found one agent provocateur who painted a smiley face on the Liberty Memorial bell or whatever the fuck. And
Oh Lord. Anyways, folks, let's see what any more of this. Oh, there's more crap here. Oh, there's more. Haha. There's more Cenk Uygur.
They're to love one another. Dude,
What he says there? He says, "I rebel. We have two cramps. We're supposed to hate each other, and God knows we have plenty of reasons to hate one another. The algorithms stoke those fires by rewarding extremism. Who's extreme? But I rebel, and you should too. They're to love one another these days. There's not being extreme to resist fascism. How's that extreme to resist fascism, Cenk? You coolly on. He's a total grifter and a op right now, folks. This is crazy. I mean, there's a right-wing extremist. You see the left. I don't see any left-wing. I mean, the left wing is. They're not even violent, the left. I mean, the right wingers, you can see that the right wing extremes are violent. You could tell. We know that. January 6th and on. The left wingers, it is not you don't see. These are some instances. There might be. Rarely you hear about left wing violence. Extreme, on the far left, even. You say the far left, you don't hear that. You hear more on the right. So he's talking about extremists. You mean on his side now? He's more of a right winger. The extremist is on your side, on the right wing, the MAGA side, Cenk.
Takes real courage, and it's just like Cenk getting a beer with a bunch of members of the Third Reich. He's like, we're fucking drinking the German Steins. Yeah, well, that's it. Let's drink the Stein of fucking German Munich lager, huh? Can't get lager like this in the free state of America. Yeah.
And look at this next one too. He says, when you hear someone love or hate Trump, resist the temptation to judge them. Who are you, fucking Jesus Christ, bro? Instead, thou shalt not, covet thy neighbor's wife. Okay. Instead, have the curiosity to find out why. Treat thy fellow citizen as decent people, even if you think They are misdirected. Treat them like they're one of your own. And it's
Oh my
stupid because, like, I don't know a single goddamn person on the left, even the people that Cenk hates the most, like Francesca. I think she would say the same thing. Like, I don't think someone like Francesca, any of the members of the radical left, like,
They don't hate the.
none of our message is to, if you see someone who loves Trump, you should hate that person. Who's saying
No.
that?
No one is saying that. Exactly. No one is saying that. Maybe they're saying that maybe they're making fun of them. That's what they're doing. Like some on the left are. They're not hating them but making fun of them, saying that they're stupid. And some of them are stupid. But I'm sorry. But they're not really I don't think they're hating them, he's right.
I mean, yeah, I hate Donald Trump. I hate Nazis. I hate the people who want to fucking drop bombs on children. I hate the people who think it's a good idea to bomb.
Well, except if they're max left, of course, right? See, look, yeah, I love that. And here's somebody try to treat them with fellow things and decency, even if you think they're misguided. Treat them like one of your own. Well, except if they're the max left, right? Great point.
Drives people
Yes,
into
For
oblivion
sure,
in
but like,
Yemen.
as far as voters, like, I'm pretty sure everyone's been pretty consistent that, like, yeah, you shouldn't just go start judging or hating, like, your neighbor who voted for Trump. They're like the plumber down the street or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was what I was building up
Yeah.
to. Yeah, I am capable of hating the people who are active cheerleaders for this, but Gavin and I talk about it all the time. We firmly resisted the left-wing push to be like, oh, like, you know, you associate with your family that votes differently than you, and it's like, yeah, I fucking do, bro. I fucking do. I love them, and you know, they love me, and we still have this, you know, human experience together, right? But on the other hand, I could still come out here and as angrily and fucking frustratedly as I want, call people who voted for Trump fascist sympathizers because, like it or not, that's what you fucking are.
100%. Yeah, so completely ridiculous from Jake. Again, it's like, what do you think, you're Jesus Christ or something? Like, thanks for your fucking commandments. Thanks for your philosophy here. We were all really struggling with that until he came down and spoke the moral clarity that we needed.
Shout out to the real leftist heroes like Cenk, Brianna, and Aaron Mate for reminding us that actually, you know what? Trump is not as bad as those liberals are telling you.
Yup, exactly.
Ooh.
That was a banger show, Zach. Pretty quick 90 minutes. You think we're ready to hit some super chats?
Absolutely. If you want to take
folks.
the first super chat.
I'm out of here. Just want to give you that taste, that will just happened to be on their live stream. Cenk Uygur. Ha! Do nonsense again. Unhinged tweets. Totally unhinged. Okay, I'm out, folks.